We're here on the campus of SUNY Oneonta in New York, asking people questions on the streets to see, to their knowledge, what they know about biology. Here's a person right here. Excuse me, sir. Sir. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You seem like you're an athlete. You seem pretty smart. What's the highest level biology course you've taken here?
Bio 323.
I don't think that exists. Okay. May I ask you another question?
Sure.
What is a chloroplast?
It's the green stuff of the plants. That's usually around St. Patrick's Day is when it starts to really show. I know that. Because green
Don't
St.
think that's
Patrick's
true,
Day.
but thank you for your time, sir.
Like us college students, plants love to relax in the sun, but it's a lot more important to them. You see, instead of consuming food like us, plants make their own food. That's why they're chefs. But how do they do this? They use energy from the sunlight and convert it into food in plant cells. That whole process is called photosynthesis, and without chloroplasts, it wouldn't be possible. What's a chloroplast?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Okay. Each plant is made up of many plant cells performing photosynthesis. Inside each of these tiny plant cells are small structures called chloroplasts. Chloroplast comes from the Greek word chloros for green and plastis for the ones that form. That's because chloroplasts are what gives the plant that green color and help the plant cells form something delicious for them to eat. Chloroplasts are the structural sites of photosynthesis, where light energy is converted into food. Now let's talk about the structure of the chloroplast. Chloroplasts exist in the cytoplasm of plant cells. They are flat, frisbee-shaped structures filled with thylakoids. Thylakoids are small disc-like compartments composed of membranes that are the site of sunlight-dependent photosynthesis. The thylakoids are surrounded by the stroma, or the inner liquid portion of the chloroplast. Both the stroma and the thylakoids contain important molecules for photosynthesis. Thylakoids are often stacked on top of each other, and they look like a stack of flapjacks. Grana, or singular granum, are stacks of thylakoids within the chloroplast.
The closer a plant is to the sun, the more complex their method of photosynthesis is.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. Do you have a minute to talk about mitochondria?
Yeah, I have a minute or two.
When is the last time you took a biology class?
It was like ninth grade, I think.
Do you know what an organelle is?
Like I said, it was ninth grade, so I really don't know.
All right, close. Do you know what a mitochondria is?
I know it's in cells.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what it does?
Something about the powerhouse of the cell. Wait, no, that's what it is. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it does.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for your time and letting me into your home.
All right, there's the door.
Mitochondria are responsible for producing energy in the form of ATP for a cell. They are made up of an outer membrane, an inner membrane, a matrix, ribosomes, and DNA. The matrix contains all the components needed to make energy for the cell in the mitochondria. The green circles represent enzymes that line the wall of the matrix's membrane. They work to break down substances that enter the matrix. Here, the blue, pink, and orange circles represent fatty acids, glucose, and amino acids. Focusing on glucose processing makes it easier to understand how energy is made. Oxygen also enters the matrix and moves towards the enzymes while glucose does the same. Enzymes break down glucose through a process called the Krebs cycle. This is a complicated process and very long, but can be simplified. As enzymes break down glucose, the hydrogen bonds of glucose are broken, releasing energy in the form of electrons. The electrons then travel throughout the rest of the matrix, released at the end of the process as ATP. This process can be simplified even more into something you've probably learned about already in middle school or high school. Glucose plus oxygen, through the use of energy, yields carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. With the mitochondria producing all the energy needed for every cell function, it's no wonder they are called the powerhouse of the cell.